All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another documentary lesson, educational, motivational, inspirational, platform exhibiting. I'm just kidding. I'm just making up words. I just want to continue on the journey of the Odin project. So we did a little game called Flexbox Froggy. That was really cool. And now we're going to continue. Oh, if it'll load. Let's go ahead and do that. Just in case we'll need that. We're also going to need our notes and we're not going to be on block and inline. We're going to be on Flexbox still, if I'm correct. Okay. So let's go back to our dashboard. No, we're having some issues here. I think I'm on the Wi-Fi. Oh no, I'm not. Okay, hopefully we can stay in the green. Alright. Let's go ahead in here. Okay. So far, just to kind of get, we've done the introduction, the prerequisites. We've done Git basics, HTML foundations, CSS foundations, and now we're almost to. Alright. We're almost to our second project. But let's go back to alignment. Okay, and if I remember correctly, here we go. Let's kind of have this like this. Okay. Okay. Hopefully Mickey's not caught too much in the background. Okay, so let's see. You should be able to... Okay. Let's go ahead and reread through this, because I don't remember reading this. So far, everything we touched with Flexbox has used the rule flex 1 on all flex items. Okay, I remember reading that. Which makes the items grow or shrink equally. Shrink or grow equally to fill all of the available space. Very often, however, this is not the desired effect. Oh. Flex is also very useful for arranging items that have a specific size. So what we'll learn is how to align items inside a flex container both vertically and horizontally. So Flexbox Froggy actually had all of that. That was all about alignment, right? Okay, so you should be able to predict what will happen if you put flex 1 on the item by now, right? Give it a shot before we move on. So here we have okay, item. Oh yeah, and if we add a flex of 1, so if we add a flex of 1, what it's going to do, it's going to expand the blue boxes horizontally from one end to the other and equally. And the thing is, though, yeah, that should be it. So let's do it. Flex 1. There we go. And it spaced it out equally. But I think we should do that in here. There we go. You got a better view of how that how that works. What the hell? There we go. Okay. So adding flex to x1, or adding flex 1 to the item, which makes each of the items grow to fill available space. But what if we wanted them to stay the same width but distribute themselves differently inside of the container? We can do this. So by using justify content space between, align items across the main axis. There are a few values that you can use here. You'll learn the rest of them in the reading assignments, but for now try changing it to center. So if we took out where are we at? Flex 1, and we did justify content, right? Center. And that should change oh, whoops. I put that in the wrong one, didn't I? Oh, no, I didn't. Tint, center. Justify content aligns items across the main axis, which is the justify content space between. This is no. What did I do? Justify content space between. Oh, inside of the container. That's right. There we go. And then here we can add the here we can center it. Yeah, that's right. And then okay, so the main axis is that's right. Okay. So let's go back and go to groups. We're on Flexbox. Alignment. There we go. We can add justify content space between to the parent container to make items evenly space themselves out. We could do this to keep the items the size we have assigned to them, instead of how Flex 1 will grow the items to fit within the container. Gotcha. Okay. So we already knew that. But let's just go ahead and say main axis is the horizontal. Oh, excuse me. And cross axis is vertical. Oh. So we want to align, and and when we do that, we want to use inside of the was that align content, right? Center as well, or was it align items? Align items. There we go. Align items. So okay, and when we type here, just to make sure our notes, justify content, or actually justify content. And then we'll put value. Actually, we won't do that. We'll do that. Value. Aligns items across the main axis. Right, and align items value aligns items across the main across the cross along the cross axis. Right? Because it's the vertical. Yeah, that's right. Cross and vertical. Okay. Because justify content and aligned items are based on the main and based on the main and cross axes of your container, their behavior changes when you change the flex direction of a flex container. For example, when you change flex direction to column, justify content aligns vertically and aligned items aligns horizontally. Okay, so when you change the direction, or the behavior, when you change the flex direction of a flex container, for example, when you change the flex direction to column, right, so it's going to go down now, justify content aligns vertically, and aligned items aligns horizontally. Justify content across the main axis okay, aligns them vertically. Gotcha. Oh wait, let me make sure I got that right. Lines because the main axis, which is horizontal, okay, so that's right, main axis, cross axis. And let's make sure we put a star right here so that way we see, because that's where I'm getting confused, because I'm not really correlating those words to. So main axis horizontal, cross axis vertical. Okay, what else do we have? In alignment vertically, one of the biggest sticking points that beginners have with Flexbox is confusion when its behavior changes. So let's go ahead and put here. Behavior of these two can change when you use flex, when you use property flex, flex direction for example, flex flex direction column will now justify, will now make justify content align vertically instead of its default that is horizontal. And that means align items value aligns horizontal instead of vertically. This is while using flex direction. Okay, sorry, I was just rereading my stuff. So gap. One more useful feature of Flex is the gap property. Setting gap on a Flex container simply adds a specified space between Flex items. Very similar to adding a margin to items themselves, gap is a new property, so it doesn't show up in many resources yet, but it works reliably in all modern browsers. So it is safe to use and very handy. Adding gap of 8 pixels to the centered example above produces a result. So if we go in here and we type gap of 8 pixels, yep, there it goes. Make sure we're still working with the same one. Oh yeah, but we can exit out of this one, leave, and then do like that and like that. Flex, align center, justify center, gap 8. There's more you can learn in the reading below, but at this point, surely you can see how immensely useful Flexbox is. Using just the properties we've already covered, you could already put together some impressive layouts. Take your time going through the reading. There will be some review of the items we've already covered here, but it goes into more depth and touches on a few things that haven't been mentioned yet. Don't stress too much about trying to memorize every little detail yet. Just code along with the examples and do your best to internalize everything that is possible with Flexbox. You'll have to reach for these resources again once you get to the practice exercises, but that's perfectly acceptable. The more you use this stuff, the better it will stick in your mind, and you'll be using it constantly. Have fun. Okay, so we're going to be working on some exercises. Okay. So first we got some more reading material, as always in the Odin project, which isn't a bad thing. Did you poo-poo? Oh, she's still going. You smell it, right? I smell it. Okay, so first let's go and check out the basic concepts of Flexbox. An article on MDN is a good starting point. There are helpful examples and an interactive section. We can exit out of this. All right. Ooh. Oh, okay, that's better on the eyes. Okay. Basic concepts of Flexbox. The flexible box model. Oh, the flexible box module. Usually referred to as. I'm gonna switch back. Usually referred to as Flexbox, was designed as a one-dimensional layout model. As a method that could. Can I zoom in, please? Okay. And as a method that could offer space distribution between items and an interface and powerful alignment capabilities. This article gives an outline of the main features of Flexbox, which we will be exploring in more detail in the rest of these guides. When we describe Flexbox as being one-dimensional, we are describing the fact that Flexbox deals with the layout in one dimension at a time, either as a row or as a column. This can be contrasted with the two-dimensional model of CSS grid layout, which controls columns and rows together. So there's a grid layout and then there's Flexbox. So we're learning Flexbox. When working with Flexbox, you need to think in terms of two axes, the main axis and the cross axis. The main axis is defined by flex direction property, and the cross axis runs perpendicular to it. Everything we do with Flexbox refers back to these axes, so it's worth understanding how they work from the outside. You smell it? I'm coming. Be right back. Yeah. Come right back. Are you still moving? Sorry about that. I'm gonna have to end this. Love you.